Hello and good morning, everyone. Thank you for listening my student's presentation. Very good presentation. Next, me. I'm Tomomichi Kato, the principal. Aizu-Gakuho, Fukushima Prefecture, Aizu-Gakuho Junior and Senior High School. Thank you for giving me such a great opportunity to make this presentation. Thank you. I'll tell you about Aizu-Gakuho. Aizu-Gakuho, through an entrance examination, 90 students enter the junior high school. In addition, Aizu-Gakuho allows 150 students from other junior high school to enter the high school. So each grade has 240 students. Since 2010, Aizu-Gakuho has been designated as a super science high school. Aizu-Gakuho is first and only Fukushima Prefectural integrated public junior and senior high school. These students entered Aizu-Gakuho Junior High School, now third grade. The iCeMS Caravan mechanism for learning was held at Aizu-Gakuho this March. The program inspired the students and us teachers a lot. Through working in groups and being exposed to scientists' approaches to various topics, the students have come to welcome and think about a lot of things more actively and carefully. How about me? I think doing the bare minimum at work is not enough. And there should be something more that I can do as a principal. So, today, I'd like to talk about human resource development for the next generations from the viewpoint of a prefectural high school principal. I'm happy to be sharing my ideas about about the future with you. In Fukushima Prefecture, the public to private ratio of high school is 80-20. In areas like Tokyo and Osaka, and of course Kyoto, that ratio is 60-40. This shows public high schools play a more important role in Fukushima Prefecture. I think that human resource development should be a mission of public high school. Furthermore, we teachers need to think about what kind of people we want our students to become. The goals that I'd like to our students to accomplish in the future are as follows: to be great and respected, to gain international recognition, to contribute to our society and our happiness. For example, Dr. Hideo Noguchi was that kind of person, you know? He was born and raised in Inawashiro town, Fukushima Prefecture, near Aizu-Wakamatsu. This means we have a good role model right here in our community. Now, let me proceed to the main issue. What I like to talk about first is normal activities done at schools. I mentioned that one of the goals was to be great and respected. High schools not only have classes, but also various programs to promote a well-rounded education. There are some events like sports meets, school festivals, and choral contests at high school. In addition, these events provide good opportunities for students to create a sense of unity and establish relationships with others. And of course, club activities are too. School events in which students work in groups have an effect on the students, as we found through their changes and development during the iCeMS Caravan. Next, let me talk about the effective use of research and development projects by MEXT, such as super science high schools. Public schools have a lot of limitations on school management because the education curriculum and guidelines are clearly set. These MEXT projects enable us to develop a wide range of projects at schools. For example, Aizu-Gakuho, a super science high school, organizes a study and training program in Taiwan every year. These photos were taken at Fukushima High School about 10 years ago, when Dr. Masatoshi Koshiba, a Nobel Prize winner, gave a lecture there. That year, Fukushima High School was designated as a SSH for the first time, and I worked there. I was very impressed when I listened to his lecture. Later, I understood that merely being impressed was not enough. Nobel Prize winners are scientists who have changed the world. Though our goal is to foster scientists who are globally active or can change the world, they cannot always do so immediately. It is very important to learn about the world at first. Listening to lecture by Nobel Prize winners is so meaningful to all of us. Speaking of learning about the world, I could give some examples. Japanese schools organize school trips, which are rare in other countries. I think it is very important for all students to gain overseas experiences. And there are some overseas training programs sponsored by various organizations. And I think principals should encourage students to take part in such programs. In fact, some Aizu-Gakuho students have gone on such programs on their own volition this summer. It is possible to create opportunities for high school students to learn about the world. That is, to provide the students with opportunities like internship at laboratories, where they can meet researchers who are trying to change the world. Students have few opportunities to meet researchers themselves, and projects like the iCeMS Caravan are rare. I'd like universities and researchers to consider such programs and not worry about students disturbing their research. Teachers have a great influence on students. So to foster teachers is also essential to a principal's job. The kind of teachers that I need are those who don't. This is sports meets opening ceremony. Very enjoyed. I'm very enjoyed. Those who deal with students' dreams if they were their own dreams. Hone in on student abilities or natural talents, and motivate and encourage students to achieve their goals. Shall we recall what was said at the iCeMS Caravan? After graduating from university, the jobs students will get and divided into two kinds. Generally, either maintenance or creative job. Many students can't see clearly into their future. They don't know what they want to do at university and after graduating. To be honest, only a few people can manage to actually become scientists in the future. In fact, it is difficult for most of us to keep our creative dream alive. In the future, there will be more teachers who can teach students about mechanisms for learning before the students enter and study at university. In order to foster such skilled, passionate teachers, there are some things I'd like to do. First, I'd give them a lot of opportunities to express their opinions. If teachers can't express their opinions, they can tell students their dreams. Discussions should not just take place at school, but also over drinks at night downtown, because those discussions are also important. In other words, this is kind of like a teacher's group work. Second, I'd have them join internship programs. They could discover different values that exist outside of school. I'm sure they'd make use of it in order to individually help students realize their diverse goals. Unrelated to school subjects, I'd like teachers to have opportunities to learn about specific way of thinking through training programs at places like iCeMS. They could become more proactive and creative, as well as learn teaching skills through programs that directly show scientists' approaches toward their research and their discussions. Through these efforts, I'd like to support and develop such skilled, passionate teachers. Future work. Now, let me talk about a future issue and prospect. Based on my experience as the principal at Aizu-Gakuho, there are two things I'd like to achieve. Those two things have become clearer since I participated in the iCeMS Caravan. First of all, what I'd like to do is to change Aizu-Gakuho from its current state to a 6-year secondary education school where students have to enter the junior high school. This now Aizu-Gakuho system. In the future, secondary education school from junior high school, 6-year curriculum and SSH. There are 3 reasons why I think this should be done. Aizu-Gakuho junior high school student can find programs, think about them, and act accordingly. 2, they learn a lot of practical things. And 3, our school's English curriculum is great. So, in the obvious that a 6-year curriculum and SSH programs can contribute to human resource development a lot more. 10 years have passed since Aizu-Gakuho was integrated. It's about time that we changed Aizu-Gakuho. The second thing I'd like to do is to establish advanced public high school in Fukushima. The goal of the school would be to teach and shape students into people who can succeed in the world. If may be difficult for the Fukushima Board of Education to explain why this school is needed. But I believe they should only have to say, let's establish new school in order to develop students who can succeed in the world. I think this school should have the following traits, 7 traits, I think. Be smaller in scale, develop students who can succeed in the world, encourage students to go abroad. Be filled with students who have goals, have many passionate teachers, allow interaction outside of school, and no club activity. I'd like to explain 2 traits that I think are the most important. The first is that the school should be smaller in scale, such that each grade has only 40 to 50 students. The second is that schools should not just prepare students for passing entrance exam for high-ranking universities. The school should encourage students to go abroad to study right after graduating. I think there is meaning is establishing these schools as public institutions, not private ones. I believe that such public schools could change the attitude toward high schools for not only children, but also the older residents of Fukushima. Further good effects could be expected in other public high schools. My presentation is finished. Sorry for exceeding the scheduled time. From now on, I'd like to do the best for my students. I wish for the prosperity and success of Kyoto University and iCeMS, and the continued development of everyone. Both Aizu-Gakuho and Fukushima Prefecture, and looking forward to working with you again. That's all. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much.